Okay, welcome students. As per our previous lecture, as I told you earlier, we can see our second problem in our freely suspended object. So in this particular lecture, we are going to see freely suspended hexagonal prism. As I told you earlier, any freely suspended object can be done or hanged only with the help of its corner. Okay, so here the problem, you can see the detailed problem in the description. Here where the hexagonal side is given as 25 mm and the axis height is 50 mm, and it is very clearly given in the problem. It is freely suspended from a corner. So why I am making this is very important in the sense, if at all it is given as a freely suspended, you make the object is resting on its one of its corner of the base. That is very important. Okay, so in case of, as we looked into the previous problem for a freely suspended for a cone or a pyramid, similarly there is a formula to identify the center of gravity for a prism or a cylinder. I make it very clear, this formula can be used to identify the center of gravity for a prism or a cylinder, which is nothing but 1 by 2 times of the height, where in this particular problem the height is given as 50 mm, so that the center of the gravity of this particular prism will be 25 mm from the base. Now let us come to the problem. As I told you earlier that it should be corner resting in the base. I have to draw the top view by corner resting. As you know already, the right hand side of this particular top view where we are having a corner resting. Okay, so I have drawn the hexagon and I have named it. When I look from the top, I can see only the numbers. So the numbers are outside the bracket. I cannot see the alphabet, hence the alphabets are inside the bracket. I have named it. Then what I have done is, I have projected my center line, then I have projected all the points. See, when I look from here, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4. Similarly, A, B, C, D. So that see, I have projected all the lines, and the height which is given is 50 mm. Once I fix my height, I try to complete my front view of the prism. And I have named it. See here, from here I can see A, B, C, D. So A dash, B dash, C dash, D dash. I cannot see F dash and E dash. I have given in the bracket. Similarly, 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. 1 dash, 2 dash, 3 dash, 4 dash. And I cannot see 6 and 5. I have given in the bracket. So similar to that of our previous problem, we need to identify the center of the gravity, which is 25 mm from the base. See here, in my axis, I want to be very clear. In my axis, from the base, I have marked 25 mm, which is nothing but the half of the prism, and I have named it as G. And I have connected G and D dash. Be very careful. I have connected G and D dash because I am going to hold D and I am going to suspend the object. That is very important. So the procedure is similar to that of my previous problem. I am going to fix one point, which is nothing but D1 dash. I repeat again, the same D dash is going to be fixed over there. Okay, then I am going to draw a line which is perpendicular to my reference line. See, I have drawn a line which is perpendicular to my reference line. Now you measure D to G. Now you measure D to G and you try to cut an arc, and I have found out my G. I have found out my G. So next what I have to do is, I need to find out this particular triangle. It is very important. If I found out this triangle, all other remainings are very important. To find out this triangle, let me have this point. So there is no name for this particular point. See here, I am using D to this particular point. I am measuring D to this particular point. From D, I am cutting an arc. And similarly, from G, I am measuring that particular point. So from G, I am cutting an arc. Okay, so this is my exact point. From D, I am drawing a line and I am extending it. Okay, and obviously know that see, from this particular point, the G is connected and I am having a perpendicular line to my reference line. So I am doing the same here. I am drawing a line. Okay, so this is my D, so that I can find out the opposite A. By using my compass, I can measure from there and I can try to complete my A. For example, if I measure from there A, I will take this one as A1 dash. Similarly, D to C, I can measure here and I can have a point here which is C1 dash, within the bracket E1 dash. So from A2, I can measure the B. So this will be approximately C. I can measure using a compass, I can have an arc here. So this would be B1 dash, within the bracket it would be F1 dash. Okay, so I have found out all the base points. So now what I have to do is, see here, from this point, the height of the prism is 56. From here I am measuring 56 here. Okay, I am drawing a line which is parallel to my base. I am drawing a line which is parallel to my base. See here. So here I am having my base. I am bringing that base here. I am drawing a line which is parallel to my base. And similarly, what I am going to do is, I am going to draw a perpendicular line to all this, parallel to these lines. See here, I am connecting this line. I am connecting this line. I am connecting this line. And finally, I am connecting this particular line. Now I may erase the unwanted lines. So let me complete this. To complete this, what I am going to do is, see here. So the same prism, I am just suspending by fixing the point D. By suspending the point D. So let me name it. So this is my 1 dash, 2 dash, bracket 6 dash. This is 3 dash, bracket 5 dash, and this is my 4 dash. So I hope now I have been drawn this particular diagram after suspending by fixing a point D. The remaining is very, very important. What we have to do is, we have to project all the points from the top. Don't forget to project all the points. See here, I am projecting all the points. 1, 2. Sorry, this line is not required since we are not having a center line here. This line is not required here. So this line is not required here. So I can take the next point. So obviously these two lines will be in a straight line. Okay. So now I have to take this point and I have to take this point. All these lines should be perpendicular to my reference line. That is very, very important. Okay. And now from the left hand side I have to project this line should be parallel to my reference line. That is very, very important. Okay, now come to your hidden line concept. If you come to your hidden line concept, I cannot see this particular point. We have discussed in our earlier problems, if a corner is being hidden, the corresponding shorter dash and the corresponding longer dash will be hidden. So first let us find out what are the points here. So here I am having A1, so this is my B1, C1, so this is my B1, so this is my E1, and finally this is my F1. And similarly, since here I am having D, the D and 1 is in the same point. This is 1, 1, this is 2, 1. So I hope I doesn't need this line also. I have made a mistake here. This line is also not required because this is a center line. So this is not required. So here I have 3, 1. So I have 4, 1. Here I have 5, 1. And here I have 6, 1. Okay, so we have been found out all the points. We know that the hidden line concept. Here the corner 1 is being not visible to you. We know the concept. If a corner is resting, the corresponding longer edge. So what is the corresponding longer edge? 1 to A. 1 to A is the corresponding longer edge which is not seen by us. And similarly, what is the corresponding shorter edge? 1 to 2 and 1 to 6. So this is 1 to 6. And similarly, I cannot see 1 to 2. So all other remaining thing will be visible to us. So that I should connect it. So that I can connect it here. See here. So don't forget to connect D to 4. So this is how it will come. Okay. So this is how it will come. So we have been drawn the simple position, this is our freely suspended position, and this is the final position of our particular problem. So let us complete with the dimension. Let us complete with the dimension. So here the problem is clearly given. The side of a hexagonal prism is 25 millimeter. So drawing the extension line, then try to draw your dimension line, your arrowhead, and then you mark it as 25. And similarly the height. So this is my extension line, this is my dimension line and arrowhead. And then you try to complete the height, which is nothing but 50 millimeter. So the dimension should be written in the center of your dimension line. Okay, so with which the problem is completed.